Hello friends, brothers and sisters. This is your friend once again. My name remains Banji Olagunju, and I'm back this evening just to share with us some more experience and with some inspirational stories, just like I do always. And remember, the last time we met on this platform, I promised you that I will be back with another inspirational story. So today, I'm actually not going to waste your time. I'll go ahead straight on to the point. I want to start by saying that everything I do on this platform, I'm actually not throwing shades at anybody, and no puns intended. Had nobody in mind. I'm just doing a show on this platform for whoever is interested. And if I tell any story, either a made up one, or if I tell you it's a real life story, I'm gonna, differentiate and let you know what it is, which one it is. Now, when I tell you a make-up story and I make use of names, if the name corresponds to anybody, or if there's any indication that the event I'm narrating sound or looks similar to something you've heard or seen somewhere, I want you to know that I'm actually not referring to anybody or any event. So that being said, I'm gonna commence, and today I'm gonna tell us a story. And if you look in my title, I call it The Little Boy in Me. Yes, the little boy in me. Anyway, I want to tell us a story about our friend Toby. As usual, you remember the last time I introduced the character Toby to us, and most time I'm going to make use of this character in my stories. Toby, once again, heard about a particular king in a faraway land, and the king was said to be an autocratic leader. The king do not listen to anybody. He does not take advice from anybody. He do things his own way, and nobody can question him. He make laws that gives no room for repentance or for minor punishment. His major means of punishment is death, execution. And he made so many rules that whoever commits sin, especially if anybody go against any of the rules he made, the person had to be executed. So Toby heard about this, and Toby was wondering how someone can get him back to his senses, get the king back to his senses, to know that you can make rules like that. What about if someone commits a sin that does not warrant them to be killed? What if the corrective measure is just mere corporal punishment or something, more lenient? So Toby was waiting for an opportunity to show the king that it can't be that way forever. Something needs to change. You need to give people a chance. That sometimes people just need an opportunity to repent and do that which is right. And it so happened that the king has been on the throne for so long, and the community decided that they wanted to have a coronation anniversary. They want to celebrate the king's 25th anniversary on the throne. So the king made money available to his chiefs, people you would call like his ministers, and he told them to go ahead and organize a befitting anniversary for his 25th year. So everybody set to work. Then the king called the chiefs and told them, I want to wear a special robe on my anniversary, so I want you to go out there and look for the best of the best designer that can design a robe, a royal robe that nobody has ever seen. I have the money, I have the gold to pay for it, but go and get me the best designer in the world. So there was an advert placed in the paper, and Toby saw this. Then Toby set to work and said, here goes my opportunity to teach the king a lesson. So Toby set to work, and the advert that was placed in the media states that whoever comes out to design this cloth, the royal robe, need to know that the robe got to be perfect, and the king must like it, because if the king does not like it, that would mean a waste of time on the part of the king, and the designer will have to be killed because you just wasted the king's time. So if you're not sure you can make a worthy royal robe, you don't need to apply for the job. So, but Toby applied for the job anyway, and Toby showed up. When Toby showed up at the king's palace, he told the king, and he gave him 4 stories about how he has made robes for other kings in other strange lands, and he wondered why and how the king have not heard about him, because any king that is known anywhere in the world, he has made robes for them, and he is very sure that he can satisfy the king. He can make a worthy royal robe for the 25th anniversary. It's just that he's going to need the king to put some things in place. And in order to make the best of the robes for the king, there are some things that needs to be done. And the king will have to let the people know that the robe is about to make, nobody that has ever seen before can see the cloth. Nobody can see the fabric. If you have committed any sin in your life, you cannot see the fabric. It's only those that have not committed any sin that can, see the fabric. And when the king puts on the royal robe, only those that have not committed any sin can see it. So he asked the king to provide him a room and a loom to weave together the wool and everything that he would need, and the sewing machine to put everything together after it's woven. And then he told the king that he would like to walk in silence and in peace with nobody disturbing him, and it's going to take him 7 days to finish the royal robe. Now, before anybody can get to see the robe, which will not be the king can only get to see the robe on the day that the anniversary will take place, because Toby, will have to be the one to put the robe on the king. And since he had another appointment with another king, as soon as he's done putting the robe on the king, he will have to take his leave and travel to another far away land. So the king agreed to all this. Toby told the king that on the 5th day, the chiefs could come in and check the progress on the designing and the making of the royal robe. But they must knock on the door and wait for him to answer the door before they can come in. So the king agreed to all this. They made provision for everything that Toby requested for. And Toby went in the room and locked himself up. They already stocked the room with everything Toby need, food, drinks, and everything. So while in the room, all Toby was doing was sleeping, waking up, and dancing, you know, enjoying himself. He was actually not doing anything. So on the 5th day, the chiefs came to the door and they knocked on the door. And Toby got up from where he was laying down resting, sat at the loom, pretended to be weaving together some fabrics. And then he said, yes, you can come in. So the chiefs came in, and to their surprise, they were looking at the loom. It's an empty loom. There was nothing going on except Toby sitting down there pretending to be weaving something. They all know point blank that there was no fabric on the loom. But see, each one of them was thinking deep down inside that they have done something wrong. Each one of them remember what they did wrong, meaning none of them was without sin. Each one of them have committed one sin or the other. So as soon as they realized this, they decided in their mind that I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait for the others to talk and see if they could see anything. So if they see anything, then I better, follow suit and say I've seen something, because I don't want to be killed. So one of the chiefs said, wow, what a fantastic fabric. Look at that shining gold color. The other one said, yeah, oh, you've seen a gold color? I just saw a blue color. And then each and every one of them started bringing in colors, invisible colors, something that they did not see, but everybody started saying they saw something. So with their mouth, they created a fabric, because each one of them mentioned different colors. And then one of them started saying, it looks like a rainbow. It's made of different colors and it's glittering and shining. Oh, the king will love this royal robe. I can't wait to tell the king about it. I wish I have enough money, I can make one for myself too. So once they were done, they left Toby alone. They went back to the palace and told the king. So the king asked them, so how is the robe coming up? And then they all started saying, oh, I saw the robe. I don't think any king has ever done a robe like that. In fact, mighty king, on your anniversary, I think the whole world will respect you the more, because I don't think anybody has seen this type of robe, and I don't think after you any other person is going to have this type of robe. So everybody just, sing the praise of the new robe that is being made by Toby to the king. And the king, just like a little kid, is so anxious. He couldn't wait, to put on the robe and all that. So on the 7th day, the day of the anniversary, the king went into the room, and Toby, after collecting all the money for his job and everything and setting up to leave, pretended to put the robe on the king, told the king that the king will have to strip naked and be in his undergarment for him to put the robe on, which the king obeyed. And then Toby pretended to put a robe on the king, but there was actually no robe. Toby was just acting the part of putting a robe on the king. Now, the king realized there was no robe because he couldn't see anything. But his chiefs already told him that they saw the robe, and it was made up of different colors. It's like a rainbow. So the king was there thinking, why am I not seeing the robe? But the chief saw it. Then you remember he has committed so many sins. He started remembering all his sins one after the other. And then he thought, perhaps because of my sin, I couldn't see the robe. And I dare not say I didn't see any robe, lest I be executed, as the law of the land states. So the king had to play along too, because the chiefs already told him they saw the robe. So here goes the king, totally, naked, nothing on, but thinking that there was a robe. He just couldn't see it because he's a sinner. And he don't want to say he didn't see the robe because he don't want them to know he has sinned. So the king decided just to play the part that he saw the robe too. He started saying he loved it, he loved the fabric. And he started acting like he was touching the robe himself and said, oh, I see all the different colors. Oh, this was what the chiefs were talking about. The robe has a rainbow color. I see the glittering gold. Oh, I see the diamonds and everything on the robe. So the whole community was already waiting at the arena, waiting for the king to come out. And lo and behold, once Toby was done dressing up the king, Toby took his leave, ran as fast as he could to get out of that place. So the king came out into the arena, and the king was naked. As soon as the king came out, everybody started looking and saying, wow, oh, ha. So the king was thinking, oh, the robe must be beautiful because people are, giving exclamation marks, making different kind of, gestures, expressions. So the king was smiling, trying to show off, looking elegant and all that. Then here comes a little boy, a 2-year-old. And the 2-year-old just looked and he was like, what? Why is everybody happy? The king is naked. The king is not wearing anything. The king had that. The king knew that he was not wearing anything, but he had to play the part because he thought the other people saw something. So there must be a robe. But now here comes this 2-year-old boy that everybody knows that this boy don't even know what a sin is, saying there is nothing. The king is naked. The king realized he has been fooled. He ran back inside the palace. And everybody realized that they have been fooled. There was actually no robe. But see, the king has been put to shame already. He walked out nakedly. Only reason why this happened to the king was because the king surrounded himself with sycophants. Everybody around the king was sycophants. Everybody kept quiet. They could not tell him the truth. The first lesson I want us to take out of this is when you surround yourself with sycophants, people that can't tell you the truth because of what they get from you, because of what you give to them, which was something you created by yourself, because you reward people that don't tell you the truth, and you punish the people that tells you the truth. Then you will have more people around you that won't tell you the truth, because that is what you want. And you actually rewarding people telling you lies, people not bold enough to tell you the truth because of the fear they have and because of the benefits that comes with them telling you lies. So people keep on telling you lies. So the king fell victim to Toby because he did not surround himself with people that would tell him the truth. Had it been one of the chiefs told the king that Actually, I didn't see nothing. The king knew he didn't see nothing too. Probably he would have known better not to come out naked. Because for a very long time, the king was ashamed of himself. He had to stay indoor for so long, for so many years, because the whole community saw him naked. He made a fool of himself. This was something he could have prevented if he would have just, listened to other people's opinion. If he would have just, done what is right. Not just think about using his power and money and thinking that nobody can do anything, that whatever he does is final. I want to bring it home by saying, I'm sitting here saying this, not saying that I'm righteous or I know better than nobody. No. We are all in this together. I am not perfect. I make mistakes too, just like every other person. It might be in different area or in different aspects of our lives that we all make mistakes. Everybody has shortcomings. The only difference is everybody has his own peculiar problem. That's why each individual is unique in his or her own way. So what your problem is might not be my problem, but that don't make me a better person than you. But you should be able to listen to me when I try to call you to reasoning, when I try to call you to logical reasoning, and you should be able to call me to logical reasoning too, where I'm making mistakes. And we need to listen to each other. None of us should think we are better than the other person. We should all work together. I mean, like in Yoruba language, they said, wọ́n ní ká fọwọ́ wẹwọ́ lọ́wọ́ fi ń mọ́, àgbájọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà, àdèjọwọ́ kan kò gbẹ́rù dórí. There's nobody that is perfect. The gift you have is not the gift I have. Everybody have different talents and different gifts. So you may be better than me in some areas, but God might have given me a different talent that could be of help to you. So you don't need to look down on me and feel like I can't tell you because I don't know what you know. Likewise, I can't look at you and say you can't tell me because you don't know what I know. Why am I saying this? Perhaps you are a leader somewhere. It don't matter where you are a leader, in church, in politics, or you are the boss on your job, or you have a business of your own, and you have the final say, you are the all and all. Nobody can challenge your decision. Sometimes it helps if we can find people that will give us a constructive criticism. People that can give us constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong in criticism as long as it's constructive, not destructive. It makes us a better person. It helps us. Sometimes we venture out of our way to go into things that probably don't matter, or we shouldn't be doing, or we make mistakes. But when people criticize us constructively, it calls us back to order. It calls our attention to what we are missing. Sometimes there's just a missing link. And it might just take somebody, even it might be the lowest of the low, to call us back to our senses. If you are a leader and you've made mistakes, there's no need to go ahead trying to bamboozle your way or trying to ruffle everything and say, people are telling lies about you, or what happened that you yourself knew that these things actually happen. It's better to accept fault where you're faulty. Take the blame where you need to take the blame. Make amendment. And then move on. Sometimes stuff happens in our life. Let's say, for instance, if you are running a business and all along when you start that business, you knew you were trying to defraud people. It was actually a fraudulent business. I'm using this as an example. And then you start doing your business and defrauding people and all that. If God really wants to turn you around and own that business and use it to help people to be a better person, God can call you back to your senses. But God is going to use some people to bring you back to do that which is right. And when people come in your life to expose your lies, to expose what you are doing wrong, don't see them as enemies. Don't see them as trying to pull down what you are building. No, God is trying to use them to reconstruct what you are constructing, trying to use your own knowledge, your own understanding. But God wants you to, build a perfect structure. What you are building is not perfect. You might think and you might believe it's perfect, but God knows it's not perfect. God wants to reconstruct it, make it perfect. If that is what is about to happen, you don't need to fight against it. All you need to do is let go and let God take control. Do what is right. Don't just do what is needed, because doing the needful sometimes may not help. Do what is needful and what is right. If you offend somebody and you need to go to the person and say sorry, apologize, don't hesitate to do it and move on. Sometimes we tell people that it's okay, it's enough, you need to let go. If you don't let go, you're hurting yourself. Yeah, it is true. They're hurting themselves. But guess what? If they need you to come out and say sorry, at least to see that you are genuinely sorry, if that is going to help them to get the closure they need, you need to do it. Because as long as you don't do it, they're still going to keep hurting. You need to help them to get over it. Myself inclusive. This is for everybody. That is why I said that the little boy in me, because I'm putting myself in place of that little boy who told the king that the king was naked. I am telling every one of you listening to me right now that thinks what I'm saying here makes sense. Look at your life. Look at everything you are doing. If there's anywhere you think you've done something bad, or there's something that is wrong with the foundation you've laid and you're building on, and you think you need to go back and make amends so that this structure will not crumble, the little boy in me is telling you to go back, make that amendment, and come back. Let God help you reconstruct this structure so that you can have a solid foundation. I am not worthy to talk to anybody, but at the same time, I am just like a little boy. If you are a leader, the people put you in a position to help develop, the community, or in whatever aspect they put you in charge of something. Try as much as possible to do things that will benefit the people. Don't let it just be about you and your family. You, your family, and your friends alone. No. If the money is meant for the whole community, spread it, let it go around the whole community. Do things that will benefit everybody, not things that will benefit you alone. Don't try to use what belongs to everybody to build yourself and your immediate family and friends, and then turn to an oppressor turn around and start oppressing the people with their money. Because in the first place, the money was meant to develop the community for everybody. But you turn around and stole it. Now because you have the money all to yourself, to your immediate family and to your friends, you believe you possess power. Remember what they say about power. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I want us to sleep over this, think about it, each and every one of us. Think about where it affects us, no matter how little it is. Let's try and make amends. I'm talking to you, and sometimes when I'm talking to people and I take a stand, and people tend to look at me and say, why is he saying that, or what is he talking about? Most especially on the issue of religion. And I will say this: I've had my experience and I have my reasons for saying things that I say, and I know what I'm talking about. I really know what I'm talking about. I know sometimes how these people operate. I know how they can turn things around when it don't go their way. I know how they can tell lies when people ask questions. We all need to have an open mind. Not just for us to gossip about stuff, but for us to be able to help these people that we put in the position of a leader to be a better person. Because if we keep going, if we keep doing, what we've been doing, business as usual. Oh, this person can do no wrong. This person can't tell no lie. I promise you, and I tell you, we are pulling them down gradually. We are pulling them gradually. So I'm saying this before they walk out nakedly. Let's try and call them back to their senses. Any type of leader at all, anywhere. If you have an uncle, you have a brother, you have a friend who is in a position of power, and you know they're doing anything that is not good, anything that is bad, don't be afraid to tell them the truth. You're only helping to build them and make them a better person. They might turn around and thank you in future. Right now they may not see it, but in future, when they benefit from it, you will be remembered that you were the voice of reasoning. You call them back to order. You help them to be a better person. You did not allow them to derail their own success. Because a lot of times when people in a position of power abuse power, they are only derailing their own success. Sometimes we think we've achieved it all. We are at the top of the table. At the top of the ladder. Probably we think there's no other, there's nowhere else to go. But guess what? Probably the success you're looking at today is nothing compared to the success to come in future. But if you don't do what is right, if you don't make amends, if you don't go back to sometimes you cannot undo all the wrong things you've done, but you can still make amends by reaching out, by telling the people that you need to say sorry. Go back and say sorry to them, make amends, and then come back, reconstruct, rebuild. The glory you see today, I promise you, is nothing compared to the glory to come, because that sets you apart from others. Probably a lot of people have been in the same situation you are, and they decide to bamboozle their way and, kick everybody and just, go on because they have power and they have money, and ignore the voice of reasoning. But if you choose to do Otherwise, if you choose to do that which is right and then come back afresh and rebuild, that makes the difference in you. That sets you apart. I am telling you today, if you come across this video, or if you come across, even if it's the audio that you come across, and you think this is beneficial to you, and you know somebody else that this could help, I would like you to share it with them. You don't know who you might be helping. You don't know who you might be helping at the end of the day. And trust me, you might think you're helping somebody, and at the end of the day you might be helping yourself too. Because if there's anybody out there that has any tendency of hurting you, a member of your family, and you know, by chance God used you to help them to come back to their senses, you are preventing a future occurrence that could hurt you. So you are helping yourself. You are helping them to help yourself too. You may not know it, but I'm saying it tonight. If you know anybody that this little message of mine, in my own little way, with my own little understanding, if you know anybody that this can help, I implore you, please share this with them. Let them watch this. And if you watch this, or you're watching this right now, and you think this is speaking to you, I implore you, do not hold back. Try. I know it's hard, it's difficult, but the end result is what you should look at. It helps you to heal. It helps the other people to heal. And it gives everybody a closure. Actually, it's going to do a lot of good for a whole lot of people. Maybe there has been argument. Maybe people have been bumping head. Or maybe everybody don't know who is lying, who is telling the truth. Whoever you are, whatever it is, either party, whoever is lying, whoever is telling the truth, let's come back and reason together. Whoever is lying, go to the other party, let's make amends, and let's reconstruct. Let's move on. Each and every one of us that has been placed in a leadership position, a lot of people are looking at you. People are looking at you. A lot of children are looking at you as their role model. So what kind of role model do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of role model that makes mistakes and don't want to accept? Or do you want to be a role model that makes mistakes and accepts that they are wrong and make amendment? You need to choose. You need to decide. Even after now, even after we are gone, a lot will be said about us. So what do you want your story to be? Do you want your story to be that you made mistakes and you made amendment and you rose again, became a better person? Or you want your story to be you made mistakes but you don't want to listen and the end was not good? Since we became adults, actually right from the time we were children, we've had a lot of stories about people that have come and gone, great men, great women, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you want your story to be? Where do you want to belong? Remember, I said this, myself inclusive. All of us have done one thing or the other. at one point in time. It might be different things. Probably what I did wrong is different from what you did wrong. It's different from what the other person did wrong. But there's none of us that is without sin. But if your sin has been brought into limelight and you need to, apologize for the other party to get closure, why not go ahead and do it? Why not put the shame to the side and do what is right? Do the needful and do the right thing. Don't wait until the sycophants in your life push you to come out nakedly. By the time you come out nakedly, it's too late to cover you. It's better right now, before before you've been exposed, before your nakedness is being exposed. It's better right now to do what is needful and what is right. I'm going to stop right here for today. Like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time. If this video has been beneficial to you, I would like you to share it with somebody that you know that could benefit from this. Once again, I remain Banji or Labunju, and I say to you, let it be unto me as I wish you. Also let it be unto you as you wish me. Shalom.